Jimmy Levador himself and Kevin Mack himself, they had a discussion about Rhea Boyce comparing to Raymond Washington. And it caught me off guard for the simple fact, I didn't really want to get depth into this, but it leaves me no choice because the subject keeps coming up. I don't have no complex about it. I just want the truth to be known. And that's why I believe you need to bring everything to the table when you speak on two people with such high caliber. Now, dealing with the issue at hand, I have AC, King Bubba Louie. I have his book right here, and it's called The Starting Lineup. And this is AC book that's been out since 2016 or 17, and it's been selling pretty good. And if you read the book, then you should know what I'm talking about. And I'm finna go to page 9 for all those who have the starting lineup. Let's go to page 9.
And for anyone that's interested in this book by AC Moses, King Bubba Louie, they can visit the website StreetGangs.com and get them a copy at the regular normal price. So tell us what page you're about to read.
Page 9.
Okay.
At the top of the book, Sakai is Puddin from Paru Street, oldest brother. And the setting is that the Crips is getting ready to march on Paru Street because the Parus had attacked the Crips at Gonzalez Park. So now this is going to be a retaliation with Raymond and all his soldiers marching down Central to Paru Street. And this is what happened. Puddin's brother, Sakai, who was buff at the time, really muscular, tore off his shirt, tried to rip the door open, but was unable to. About this time, we realized the Crips, who were initially in front and attacked it, were regrouping, as they had a distinct whistle for identifying themselves and called to armed regrouping and locating each other. Realizing that our number was few and the Crips would be mobilized en masse, it was time for us to make a strategic retreat by exiting Gonzalez Park and back our way over some fences and returning back to Paru Street. Once back to Paru Street, we waited for a possible counter-Crip attack on Paru Street itself. We waited with Monte cocktails in hand on both sides of the street, hiding. Our wait wasn't long. Within an hour or so, the Crips massed on the Central Avenue entrance to Paru in such number that as they proceed down Paru Street, we could not see past them once again. It had to be 100 or more. As they approached, they were hidden. They were not aware of where we were in the middle of the streets. They were not aware hiding. Sakai come out from hiding with an African spear in his hand and stood in the middle of the street and announced, "This is Sakai, X Avenue, now Paru. Me and Raymond Washington can settle this issue head up." One of the Crips said to Raymond, "He's calling you out." So instead of Raymond meeting this challenge head up, he ran in the middle of the Crips towards Sakai, shooting a gun. When Raymond started shooting, we who were hiding launched our multi-cocktails, causing the Crips to retreat. Sakai somehow was able to proceed down Paru Street, resulting in all the Crips fleeing Paru Street. Now let's elaborate on this. The deal is that Puddin brother Sakai called Raymond Washington for a head-up fight in the middle of Paru Street. But from what the book says, that Raymond himself came running down Paru Street up the middle of the Crips, shooting a pistol after a man called him out for a head-up fight. Now, you cannot, and I hope you will not, compare Raymond with not being a gun toker compared to my homeboy Rhea Boyce, who really not a gun toker, because in this book, King Bubba Louie, right there with Raymond, know Raymond personally, he made this statement. He wrote this book. And I don't believe that he's lying on Raymond. You know, I believe he's just telling it like it is. Raymond was a shooter. Raymond did not fight everybody. Raymond had firepower on his side also.
And can't that story that Baba Louie's telling in the book could be corroborated by people who are still alive today?
What I believe is that King Baba Louie saw this with his own eyes. And if you interview King Baba Louie, the only way you would know if he's lying or telling the truth, because he wrote it. I didn't write it. I'm just reading it. And do I believe it? Yes, I believe it. And this is the reason why I believe it, because there's other evidence that Raymond used a gun, you know? So I want to ask you this question. If you're taking a person to court or whatever to sue them or whatever you may be doing, you have to have facts to back it up if you're going to win your case. And the only way you're going to win your case is through facts. There's nothing else that's going to help you win this case. Now, in this book right here, I believe it. It's true, because I don't think AC Baba Louie have no reason to lie on Raymond running down, shooting at Sakai. I don't believe that he would put that in his book. I believe that is 100% true.
Well, I don't believe he would lie either, but I do know this. I do know, and my experience has been, people's memories and their recollections aren't as sharp as we might think them to be. So I come across this all the time where someone says, oh, such and such was there and such did that. Then I find out later, such and such wasn't there and such didn't do that. Now, was the first guy that told me that lying? No, he wasn't lying. He got his names messed up, or he got his story confused. And so down the line, we figure out what the real story is. So in trying to understand this Crip history, there's so many people who just don't remember, Frog, right? We know that.
I'm listening.
We know that just people don't remember. Now, I'm not doubting anything that, and this is really not to attack anybody or put anyone down. It's just one of the hardest things for me personally is dealing with people's memory, especially a lot of people in the 70s was on that PCP, was on that SHRM, and it's hard to expect them to tell us what somebody did 35 years ago. But continue.
Well, this incident happened like early 70, 71 or 70, you know. It wasn't even 72 yet, you know. There wasn't even no Compton Crips around, I believe, at that time. You know, if there were, it was Carver Parks only, you know. But this had to be 1971 when the incident happened. So there was no SHRM around at that time. We wasn't smoking that PCP at that time.
Thanks for watching StreetTV.net. If you're not subscribed, please hit that button below and click the bell to receive alerts and notifications. Feel free to comment below so you can give us your feedback, and be sure to watch the 2 related episodes to the right. If you want to support this platform or follow us on social media, visit the links in the description, and thanks for watching StreetTV.net.